Hello, students. I added Chapter 19 to dealing with insurance because I feel like this information is really missing for the most part in the education, different classes that you take. When I graduated, I was working in an accounting department and I was in charge of doing accrual entries, or one of the things I was in charge of was doing accrual entries, and some of those entries were dealing with insurance policies that we had. The reason, if you've taken 201, some of you may not have, but if you've taken that, insurance policies often are paid on an annual basis. If we weren't going to pay for those until later in the year, I might have to accrue for those. Or if we prepaid for those, then I had to show that prepaid asset being used up and adjusting entries for that over the year. So I dealt with the Treasury Department, understanding the different insurance policies and how we paid those. And I realized that I didn't really know much about the insurance policies. So I added Chapter 19 because of that. However, unfortunately, Chapter 19 in your textbook really doesn't include a lot of the policies that are used by small businesses and large businesses. So this is supplemental information to your textbook for this chapter, and this is fair game for multiple choice type questions just based on vocabulary and understanding what these different types of policies are. Okay, so I'm going to go through three different websites. I've already got those pulled up here to show you some of that information. So the first one here, this is from the Small Business Administration, so it's sba.gov. So if you want to find this page yourself, you can do so, and then go to Starting and Managing a Business, and then just find Managing a Business, and then find Insurance. And this is Types of Business Insurance. Okay, so if we go to here, Types of Business Insurance. So the first one that I'll talk about here is the General Liability Insurance. Okay, so general liability is just like it sounds. It's a liability policy. It covers legal hassles due to accidents, injury, and claims of negligence. Okay, so they can pay against bodily injury, property damage, medical expenses, libel, slander, defending lawsuit costs, settlements, judgments, anything related to your general liability. Okay, the second one is product liability. Now this would only apply if you're selling a product. If you're a service oriented business, you wouldn't need to worry about that. But if you manufacture, wholesale, distribute, and retail any products that you may be liable for the safety of that, then a product liability insurance policy would be needed. Okay, there's also something called professional liability insurance, and also known as errors and omissions insurance. So either professional liability insurance or errors and omission insurance, kind of the same thing here. So this is for companies or business owners who provide a service. So if, let's say, you're a bookkeeping service and you make some sort of error in your bookkeeping practice and you may be liable for that, then you would have a professional liability insurance policy to handle that or cover that for you. Commercial property, obviously there is some coverage under general liability. We talked about that. Property damage, we talked about that, but you can also have a commercial property insurance policy, and those cover everything related to the loss or damage of company property due to a wide variety of events. So some other types of insurance may be limited, so you want to go and look at a commercial property insurance policy for that. There's also one more thing, is home-based business insurance. So if you are a home-based business, there are policies that you might want to look at because a homeowner's insurance policies often do not cover anything related to your business, and you actually need a rider on your policy to cover a home-based business in your home. All right, so those are some basic policies related to small businesses. A couple of others I wanted to share with you. This is actually from an entrepreneur article. 7 types of insurances you need to protect your business. Most of these are the same as what we just covered: professional liability, property. There's also workers' compensation insurance, and that is actually a requirement Home-based business, we talked about that. Product liability, we talked about that. Vehicle, that's in your textbook already. And then finally, this one is another one, business interruption insurance. So if you have a disaster or a catastrophic event and your business operations are interrupted, then you're obviously going to suffer losses due to your inability to work in your office, manufacture products, make sales calls, whatever it is that you do in your office. So a business interruption insurance policy, by having that in place, will help you avoid a major financial loss. So that's another type of insurance. So business interruption insurance, in addition to workers' compensation insurance, are two of the other additional ones. Most of you are aware of workers' compensation. But that's where one of your employees is injured on the job, and workers' compensation covers those people. So if you have even if you have a low risk work, you think there's still things that can happen, such as slip and fall injuries, carpal tunnel, anything, which can result in a very pricey claim. So workers' compensation insurance is very needed. The very last insurance policy that I wanted to mention is for larger companies typically, and that is called Directors and Officers Liability Insurance. And it's exactly as it sounds. It's a liability policy, insurance policy, that covers the directors and officers of the organization. So if they could be sued as a result of serving as a director or an officer, and if they are sued, they could have personal losses related to that lawsuit, and therefore most people will not serve as an officer or a director unless they are covered by a director and officer D&O liability insurance policy. Okay, this one is from Investopedia.com. So if you wanted to find this one on your own, just go to Investopedia.com and then search Investopedia right here for Directors and Officers Liability Insurance if you want to look at this further on your own. But of course you can pause the video here and read through this on your own as well, as another way if you need more information on that. That's it. Those are the different insurance policies that I wanted to mention. And again, on your exam, they can bring those in as a question. Multiple choice is all it will be, multiple choice type questions. So just make sure you're prepared for that. And let me know of any questions. Thanks.